Hi everyone, thanks for joining me tonight again for another Vinyasa Flow yoga class on this Monday evening, this chilly Monday evening, so it's a good time to maybe just stay inside anyways, since it's cold. I'm just going to be leading you through another flow class. We'll do a little bit of heart opening today, so some back bends, and just focusing on getting the body warmed up for the first little while, and then maybe get into that later on in the practice. So that's it. I have a block here. I'm just gonna do some demoing with a block as well, and I also have a yoga ball, kind of like one of those big yoga balls too. So I'm just going to just kind of demo on how you can use those in your home practice as well. So let's get to it. Get started on your mat, and we'll go into child's resting pose to start. So go ahead and bring your knees as wide as your mat. Bring your big toes touching and stretch your arms forward. Bring your forehead to the floor. Slide your hips back towards your heels. Begin taking some deep breaths in through your nose and some deep breaths out through your nose. Feeling the sides of your body grow long with every inhale, every exhale. Keep sinking down low. So go ahead and turn your hands now so that the thumbs point up towards the ceiling. Or open the palms open towards facing the ceiling right now. Just opening the shoulders a little bit more. Alright, and then go ahead and place your palms back onto the floor, and then we'll lift up just the heel of the palm and spread your fingers out wide onto the mat. So just the heel, and kind of push down through the knuckle mounts of the hands. Push forward, keep pulling the hips back. You should feel your shoulders lift up here. Send another deep breath into your shoulders, deep long inhale, and a deep long exhale, and then you can release the palms of your hands, and then we'll just slide that left arm straight out to the left here. Look to the left, turn your head, palm facing down. Alright, now we'll move into a twist. Take that left arm, slide it underneath your right, and head to the floor. If your head doesn't feel comfortable reaching all the way to the floor, then just hovering the head is fine. But try to put the pressure on the outside of your left arm there, shoulder, and keep the hips sliding back. A little bit of pressure, pushing down into your right hand to pull the hips back will help you. Gripping into the mat a little bit, and then rising out of that position, and then going to the other side. So you're taking your right arm straight out to the right and turning your head. Breathing deep, so you should feel the stretch in your right bicep, shoulder here, as well as continuing just letting the hips relax, letting the spine relax down to the floor with every exhale. Okay, we'll take that into the twist. So you're sliding your right arm underneath your left arm, heads down. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. All right, and then go ahead and release. So reaching both arms forward here, rise on up into a tabletop position. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Rise up, rounding the spine into a cat arch. Inhale and then release your belly down. Lift your chin, chest, shoulders back. Exhale and inhale. So moving with your breath. Feel free to slow it down or speed it up here. Okay, we'll get into some side body here when we move around in a circle motion. So just pick a direction to move into. Circle around in the shoulders and your hips. You'll feel that in your knees. Elbows are bent here. Just staying fluid, moving one direction and then moving the other. Moving intuitively, unkinking the body. Keep the breath flowing along. Try not to hold the breath. Engage the core, but not so much where you are engaging the core so much where you're holding your breath. So you want to kind of find that balance there. All right. So back to tabletop position here. So your hands are underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. What we're going to do is tuck the toes under, and then we're going to lift the knees a few centimeters off the floor. So push down into your hands and just hover those knees. Try not to pull back into the hips. Try to stay with hips above your knees here as best you can. Try to keep that flat back. Push down into the mat so you're not winging out your shoulder blades. You're pushing down, trying to get your almost like a rounded upper spine here. Keep holding, one more breath, and then release. And then take a cow position, so you're dropping the belly, pulling your shoulders back. Neutral spine. Let's do that again. Hover the knees. This time, take your right foot off the floor. So both knees are hovering and your right foot is hovering. And drop it down, and then the left. Try to hold and hover, engage core, and down. Okay, release both knees down to the floor. Untuck your toes, move around in a circle motion again. All right, and then slow that down. Reach your right leg back behind you. Reach your left arm forward, find bird dog. Bring your elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Reach out again, and then bend your elbow and bend your knee. Try to hold, try not to wing that left elbow out to the side as well. So holding as best as you can, trying to pull that left elbow in towards your face. At the same time, lifting the right knee. At the same time, pushing down into your right hand. Elbow to knee, so rounding the spine, hug and hold. And breathe. Holding for 3, for 2, and for 1. Stretch it out first, inhale, and then exhale, bring it down. So let's go to the other side. Yep, left leg is going to come back, and your right arm is going to reach forward. You're finding bird dog. Bring it in, elbow to knee, knee to elbow. Breathe. Reach out. Bend. Bend into your elbow, bend into your knee, and hold. As best as you can, try to hug that right elbow in and lift the left knee up. Pushing down into your left hand to keep your shoulders lifting. One more breath, and then bring it in, elbow to knee, hug in, navel to spine, hold for 3, 2, and 1, and then reach out, and then reach down, or bring it down. Back to tabletop pose. Move around in a circle motion. Shake it up, move both directions, counterclockwise, clockwise. All right, Okay, coming up is downward facing dog next. So walking the hands forward, tucking toes under, lifting the hips up, walking it out. Drop your head and try to let the head just be heavy. Try not to hold the neck muscles and to hold up the head. Just letting it go. Pulling the chest back to the tops of the thighs, pulling heels towards the floor. Bend just into your right knee. Just into your right knee and reach that left heel. Reach it down towards the floor. Keep both hips pulling back at the same time. And then bend just into your right knee. Sorry, into your left knee and reaching the right heel. Now back and down towards the floor. And then bend both knees, look forward, and then step or hop up to the hands. So coming in a forward fold, hang here. Do some circles around in your wrist. So just as you're folding forward, you're just doing some counterclockwise and clockwise rotation of the wrist, opening the hands up, breathing, picking up your toes, spreading them wide, and then bringing them back onto the floor. So just kind of waking up fingers, waking up toes, feeling how your mat feels, working into it with your feet. Okay, come on back to center, and then we'll rise up. So just slowly come on up, and then reach up. Both arms reach above head. Exhale, open up the arms wide and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, so take the hands into the knees, and then fold forward again. Inhale, rise up all the way, reach up, exhale, fold forward, bring it all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold forward, and then inhale, rise up all the way. Again, arms reach up. Bring the hands now to your heart. Clasp your hands, press down, and then lift the arms above your head. Release the hands back behind you, clasp behind you. Pull back. This is your inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. Arms release. Inhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Clasp and puff. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Clasp and pull. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise up. Arms reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise up. Arms reach up. Exhale, clasp and press. Inhale, lift up. Side bend to the right side. Breathing deep here, pressing it through your arms. Come back to center. Side bend to the left side. Breathing deep. And then come back to center. Take the hands back behind you. Clasp your hands. Pull back, hold. Pull the shoulder blades together. And then bow all the way forward fold. Holding that forward fold. Keep breathing. Arms lifting. One more deep breath in. And then exhale. Okay, release your hands to your low back and then just let them drop down to the floor. Sway side to side. Shake the arms out. Okay, we'll get into a sort of a sun salutation flow here. So back up to the top of the mat. Let's come back into the camera. And fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then step your right foot back. Drop your right knee to the ground. Arms lift up. Crescent lunge. Bring the hands down to the floor. Step back into plank pose. 3 or 4-legged chaturanga. Slowly lower through. Elbows pull back. Lift into up dog or cobra. Pull the chest forward and pull and draw the shoulders back. Back into downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Left knee to the floor. Take the arms out. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step forward to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to the top. Inhale, and exhale, hands up, heart. Reach up again. Deep breath in. Exhale, open up the arms and come down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, step left foot back, left knee to the ground, arms up. Breath in, exhale it out. Usually this is a one long exhale and you're just flowing through the exhales. You lower through the chaturanga. You can take an extra breath there. That is your inhale when you come into up dog. Exhale to down dog. Left foot steps. Right knee to the floor. And again, you're just holding the breath a little bit until you get into your crescent lunge. And this is your inhale. Of course, you've taken more than 1 or 2 breaths already here. So inhale and then exhaling, folding forward, stepping to the top of the mat, halfway lift, fold again, and inhale, rise up all the way. So I'll try and do it with a breath per movement, 1 breath per movement, to try and flow into it a little bit faster. We're inhaling, lifting, exhaling, folding, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, left foot, right foot steps back, right knee down, inhale, lift, exhale, hands to the floor, exhale, do chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog, right foot steps, inhale here, exhale, step forward to the top, inhale, halfway, exhale, fold, inhale, rise, exhale, and here you take your extra breath, inhale and exhale here, and rise up again, inhale, exhale, inhale, halfway, exhale, left foot steps back, left knee, inhale, crescent lunge, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog, left foot steps, inhale, crescent lunge, exhale, hands to the floor, step, inhale, halfway, exhale, fold, inhale, rise, exhale. So that's kind of the pace that you can go to kind of get your heart rate up there, but by all means you can slow it all the way down. We're just going to add a little bit more moves into our sun salutation now. So let's lift up through the arms, exhale, fold forward, inhale, halfway, exhale, hands to the floor, step right foot back, right knee down, and take the arms up. So we'll begin twisting to the left, right arm forward, left arm back, reaching through the arms, breathing here, and then take that left arm forward, reach up both arms, open to the right, left arm forward, right arm back, 1 more breath, and then bring it forward, both arms, up with both arms, exhale to the floor, step back, left leg's gonna kick underneath your right leg, first side plank, split, so that bottom leg is going to be floating, holding for 3, for 2, and for 1, and then we're going to flip back around to plank pose and holding that left leg again. Now your right knee can come to the floor, holding for 3, for 2, and for 1. Now you're kicking out to the left side and holding a split plank. Let's hold that. Your foot could be hovering if you're super burly, or just onto the floor, maybe the same line as your hands, and then coming back into plank pose. Now you're lowering down through chaturanga into up dog or cobra, and exhaling, downward facing dog. Breathe that out. At any time and point, by the way, you can just drop into child's pose, join back in when you're ready. We're going to step the right foot forward now, left knee to the floor, and the arms are going to reach up. So we're going to begin by twisting to the right. The left arm forward, the right arm back. Breathing, crown of the head lifting tall. Reaching through those arms. Okay, now bring the hands back together, then up, and then open to the left. And again, the same kind of reaching through the arms, breathing deep. All right, close it. Reaching up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Okay, so now right leg kicks underneath the left leg, holding that bottom split side plank, so that bottom leg lifting or down to the floor or you're here with the bottom shin to the floor. Okay, any kind of modification you need to take, you go ahead. And then coming back to plank pose with that right leg hovering for advanced, or left knee to floor for beginner. And one, and now kick right leg out to the right in a split plank. So you're still really firing up through that left leg. So that back leg, you're pushing up through the heel. You should feel your core engage, you should feel the stretch. Okay, and then slide it back, plank, chaturanga, deep breath in, up dog, and then take your ass in child's pose. Bring the knees wide, sink down, deep breath out through the mouth, out through the nose. By the way, you can reach forward in your child's pose with arms reaching in front of you or alongside your body, whatever's feeling more comfortable for you. All right, take another deep breath in, deep breath out. Use your inhale, let's rise back up, tabletop, down dog. Walk it out again. Keeping the body warm and moving. Okay, so we're going to get into three-legged down dogs. So we're going to lift that right leg back and up into the air. You can bend into the knee and open up a little bit more, open up into the hip. Looking underneath your right armpit if you want, just kind of holding that. And let's step forward into warrior one. So right foot steps forward, back, left heel drops to the floor, front knee over the front ankle, and arms reach above the head. So back leg fired up here. Let's go warrior two pose, reaching out through the arms. Breathing deep. Okay, take a reverse warrior, reach up with your right arm. Okay, coming down into extended side angle. So that right forearm is either up onto that thigh or down to the floor. Let's take that left arm just straight up for this variation, straight up to the ceiling. And then rising back up, facing forward warrior one. And arms come back alongside the body. We're going to shift into a balance. We're going to shift into a variation of warrior three. So you're shifting the weight into your right foot and then hopping up. I'm just going to stay in front of the camera here. So arms are reaching back, palms are facing up towards the ceiling, and you want to see if you can reach your thumbs, maybe even hooking your thumbs together behind your back and retracting your shoulder blades down. So kind of pull your thumbs together and also pull down towards your heel. Okay, if you can't reach your thumbs, that's fine. You can also touch them, but also you do try to pull down your shoulder blades. Okay, and then we're just going to step back lightly into warrior one, sweep arms, and then sweep it down. Step back into three-legged plank pose. Your right leg is lifted, and then we're going to take the right leg over top of the left leg for wild thing. Right knee stays lifted, left leg straight, and reach your top arm over. It's a kind of a variation of side plank. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. And then flipping around back into plank. Lower through chaturanga, up dog cobra, downward facing dog. Breathe it out. If you need a child's pose break, you can. 2 more deep breaths in and out. We're going to the other side. Left leg is next when you're ready. Kick it up. Doesn't have to be high, by the way. This could be your three-legged down dog. So it could be just kind of off the floor a little bit. Doesn't have to be super high, by the way. If you are not that flexible, you don't have to be to do it. We're going to step forward, take warrior one. Again, point your toes forward. That's another thing. If your toes are kind of off to the side, one way or the other, that's going to throw your knee off. It's going to kind of throw everything off balance. So make sure your front toes are pointing forward. Your back toes are turned out at that 45-degree angle here. Arms are going to reach up, sinking down, and breathing. Let's go warrior two. Reach your left arm forward and right arm back. Breathing deep and sinking through the hips. Tip back, reverse warrior. All right, extended side angle, and again, remember you can modify it, you can go down, and this variation, just reaching that top arm straight up. We're not holding that long. We're going to visit this again, and then we're going to come back up. Warrior two, warrior one. Getting ready to balance. Take your arms down, pull back, chest forward, shifting the weight, and up you go. So you can do that in a couple hops if you need to. And just reaching back. And again, you can hook your thumbs behind you if you'd like, but try to activate your back muscles in this position. So pulling those shoulder blades down, lifting your arms up so your triceps activate as you kind of lift your arms higher. Okay, lightly step back. Warrior one, warrior two, reverse warrior, and then flow all the way down. Coming back into your plank pose, lifting that left leg now over top of the right leg for wild things. So your right leg remains straight, right arm is straight, and you're just tipping, either facing belly to the side or facing more at an angle more to the ceiling. And up. Pushing down into your left foot. Kind of popping up through that left hip as best as you can, and then flip all the way over. Back to plank, chaturanga. Deep breath in and up dog, and then take your rest. Back to child's pose and stretch it out. Arms either forward or behind you. Two more breaths. All right, so use your next inhale. Let's pop back up again to downward facing dog and keep your breath moving in and moving out. Good flow. All right, right leg again will lift. Bending knee if you wish. Let's step right foot forward. Drop it back into a warrior one pose again. So your back heels drop down, arms are going to reach out, flow to warrior two pose. Go to reverse warrior. Okay, now we're going to go into reverse warrior and extended side angle flow, and we're going to begin with the extended side angle. So with the extended side angle, that top arm, that right arm is going to come in front of the tummy, and that top arm is going to come overhead. So you're going to feel like you're moving in opposite directions, kind of closing your front part of the body, opening back part of the body, and you're leaning forward into the stretch into the hip, and then we're coming back and then reversing the arm direction where your left arm is coming in front, and you're reaching for your right rib cage now with your left hand, and your top arm is stretching overhead. So you should feel this big stretch through your right side of the body. Okay, so with your breath, we're exhaling down and inhaling back. Exhaling to extended side angle, and you're keeping the same shape in your legs. So that is very challenging. I know it takes a little bit of practice to get into it, but you want to just try it as best you can. Feel a flow happening through your arms and try to free up the arms. And just kind of notice where there's crunchiness in the shoulders, creaking. That's perfectly fine. If you need to, we'll just keep going as I'm talking here. If you need to straighten those arms or straighten that front leg, keep with the arms. Keep with the arm movement just to kind of feel like there's a little bit of a flow here. Just moving with the breath. So moving with the breath is very important here. Coordinating the pose with an inhale or exhale. Exhaling, kind of compressing forward flexion, and then inhaling, you're in an extension and opening. Okay, one more time. I know those legs are hurting. Coming back, and then warrior two. And then we'll just take it all the way down, step back, and then we're gonna again open up to wild thing. That right leg's gonna go over top of the left leg. And then you can go all the way into your rock star position, which could be one arm wheel as well. Pressing the hips up, breathing deep, and then flipping around. Back to plank, chaturanga, up dog cobra. We'll take a rest before we do the other side. And breathe it out. Long deep breaths out through the mouth, out through the nose. One more. All right, so come on up. Let's go and do that other side. We're going to go up to the down dog. Let's lift the left leg up. Breathe deep. Step forward. Warrior one. So again, make sure your alignment is good. When you get that solid base here, then you'll be a little bit more freer to move in your shoulders, and it'll just feel a lot better to move when we're going into our flow here. Let's go to warrior two pose and reverse warrior. Meeting the core. All right, so extended side angle. And it's the left arm that's going to come in front of the body, and the right arm that's going to go over top. So you can go low if you want. The lower you go, the more load it's going to put on the front leg, and the more stretch you're going to get. So that is completely up to you and how far you want to go, and also with the reaching of the arms and how intentional you want to be with that. So we're inhaling, coming back, and exhaling, moving forward. So maybe one side kind of allows you to go a little bit deeper in your stretch, in that extended side angle variation. Maybe you need to back off and straighten the leg a little bit more if you need to. So you can change it up, but again, you're just working. Try to work with the shoulders here, flowing and changing the arm pattern. Okay, and you also just start to make some big circles. So feel the air around you and just kind of notice your bubble. Solid through the legs, and I know the legs should be feeling some fire right now. That is fine. Keep working with the breath. Try to keep moving. Okay, let's do a couple more on each side, just to balance it up. Okay, and then back we go. Warrior two, let it go. Coming back, and that left leg is gonna go over top of the right leg. Find your wild thing or your rock star position. Should feel good if you've made it to the rock star position, just stretching your quads out, front body, and flip around and lower. So take up dog cobra and then take your child's pose again. Breathe deep, breathe out deep. All right, so from child's pose, we're gonna come back and You can sit on the heels and just sort of come back into reclined hero's pose from here. So I'm just kind of sitting down. I have a block here. I'm just going to demo. Just going to sit on the block. So if you have problems with knee flexion and you can't go back this far, maybe propping up your hips, block or two underneath. You can move it. You can sit on it this way, so on the skinny side as well, as long as you kind of balance it out so you just have your sit bones right underneath. So just relieving a little bit of pressure from the knee flexion as you come back. So we're not quite in that camel position, but you're getting a really good heart opener as well. If you don't need that block and you're just sitting down, you'll definitely notice quite a big stretch in your quadricep muscles and hips. So you can come back and you can, if you are flexible enough, you feel confident enough to lean back all the way onto elbows or all the way back into thunderbolt pose. You're lying down flat. You can reach your arms overhead. So again, it's completely up to you how you want to progress or regress in the reclined hero's pose. So reclined hero's pose to thunderbolt. And again, just another deep breath. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. If you all the way back in thunderbolt, you're just kind of pressing yourself up bit by bit, and then we'll come forward enough so that we're in tabletop. So on all fours again, let's drop the forearms to the ground and then move around in a circle motion, getting into the shoulders. Pick one direction, pick the other direction. And then move forward, move back and then move forward. Move back and then move forward. All right. Okay, and then coming back up. Okay, getting back into another flow, so we're going to go into downward facing dog. Let's try some balancing next. Some more balancing. And I'll demo some of the stuff with a block as well. So let's lift the right leg up. Let's go down dog again. Three-legged down dog, right leg lifts. Right leg, right foot steps forward with the back heel lifted this time. So you're in sort of the runner's lunge down here, and then come to that high lunge position where your knee is over your ankle in the front. So let's reach up with both arms. So back leg, a little bit of bend into that back leg, not totally locked out with the knee. All right, so we're gonna come forward into standing split, and I have a block just in front of me to demo everything. I'm gonna have to step back in my camera here. So coming down, and I'm going to hold on to the block, and I've grabbed into the block, and I'm just going to lift the left leg off the ground. So if you don't have the block, then fingertips touching the floor or just holding onto your shin. But try to make a halfway lift position here. So halfway lift, when I say halfway lift, I mean try to lift so that your back feels flat and you're lifting your chest forward. So this is kind of that forward flexion, looking down, and you're just stretching your back, but this is activating your back by lifting up, and it takes quite a bit more concentration, but try to hold 3, 2, 1, and then come back down into lunge. So drop your back knee to the floor, take crescent lunge, left hand to the floor, and right arm reaching. Opening here, getting ready for our twist and revolve half moon here. So we're going to bring it back onto the floor, bring that right hand back onto the floor. Lift it up to runner's lunge, so lift your back knee up, hop up again to your block or fingertips to the floor, and then revolve half moon. That left hand is going to be holding onto the block. And I'm just going to the highest point I can in the block, just to maintain a straight back. And if you've never practiced with a block before and you do have one at home, I definitely recommend it just to try your revolved half moon with a block. Take your right hand to your right hip and you can hold here. So you want to feel that right hip pull back and you want to feel the left hip drop down and the inner thighs pull in towards each other. Right arm can reach up and your gaze can also look up as well. Okay, without the block, it would just look like this. So you're down, fingertips onto the floor and lifting like that. Okay, and then coming out of that position and stepping back, dropping the back knee down to the floor, reaching up, crescent lunge, hands to the floor, stepping back into plank pose, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and then downward facing dog. Breathe it out. Let's do the left leg next. So lift it up, bend into the knee. Step forward or into your runner's lunge and come up to high lunge. So back heel's lifted and arms are lifting up. And you're just trying to breathe, lengthen to that position. Take another inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands forward. Again, fingertips to the floor or you're holding onto block and hopping up. So again, try that halfway lift position. I know it's really tempting just to kind of fold into it, but try as best you can, as long as you can, try to keep lifting forward in the stretch. Breathing deep. Take another deep breath in and then releasing. So stepping back, drop your back knee to the floor again. Arms up, right hand down, left arm lifts. Breathe, pull that shoulder back. And then release down. Okay, up we go again, this time on the other side for revolved half moon. Lifting that right knee up off the floor. We'll go into it right away from our runner's lunge. So we're going to hop up, back leg, right leg. The right hand is going to hold onto the block or hold fingertips to floor. Start with your left hand on your left hip. So your hips are squaring down. And then you want to feel a rotation through your rib cage. So pull belly in and feel that your rib cage and then your shoulders and then your head turns. But try to keep your hips as level as possible. And that kind of means squeezing your inner thighs together as best you can. Reaching that back leg back. So my back leg super activated. You feel your hamstrings just go on fire here. And then that arm, the right arm lifting, or left arm lifting up to the ceiling as well. And again, this is what it looks like without that block. Just fingertips to the floor. And then releasing. So hand to the floor, step back, drop your back knee. Deep breath in, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, plank, chaturanga. Up dog, cobra, child's pose. Sink down, breathe it out. All right, so come on back up. Since I have a block here, I'm just going to just show a version of camel with just using a block or I don't know, rolled up towel if you have one at home. Placing the block, so we're going to do camel. So you're going to your knees or shins. You can roll up your mat a little bit more if you have knee issues, if it feels like there's a lot of pressure on your kneecaps, or maybe you're on carpet and maybe that's fine, or maybe you put a towel on the floor as well for your knees. So using the block, it's going to go in between the knees and just the skinny side. And what you want to do is squeeze your knees together and squeeze the block and keep that tension happening for the duration of your camel position. So back bending, we can start here. We'll just could take a little bit of a back bend, taking the hands onto the hips. So my thumbs are just kind of wrapped behind and fingers are in front. And we're just gonna do a little opening and then releasing back to neutral. Breathing back into another opening, and then again, you're just kind of forming this kind of mind-muscle connection right here. So you're noticing your legs are working and squeezing as you're taking that back bend and releasing. Okay, and then take your full version of camel if you want, or if you just want to take the baby back bend and hold here, chin into chest. If you have any neck issues, then you are here. Hands onto the hamstrings, or hands reaching onto your heels, and your toes can also tuck under. So again, try to maintain that connection to the block and squeezing the block and reaching your hips forward at the same time. Chest lifting. One more breath. All right, and lift with your chest here wherever you are, coming out, forward, and then bring it down to tabletop pose. Release the block in front of you, away from you. Come back down to forearms and circle around, breathing deep. Pull forward, pull back. All right, and then back up to tabletop position, and then up into downward facing dog again. So breathing it out. Take another deep breath in, deep breath out here. All right, so we're going to step the right foot forward. Right knee or left knee is above the ground here, back into your runner's lunge and then your high lunge position. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out here. All right, so we're going to come forward this time into standing split, and this time you just may just sink down into it. So we're going to come forward, bring the hands to the floor, and then kick up to the left leg. And in this variation, just drop into it. So you're drawing your head to your right knee, and you're just trying to get lift in your hamstring. Your left leg is trying to lift, and you're squeezing and trying to activate your left leg as best as you can. All right, so from here, let's step back into lunge. Drop your back knee, reach up. We're going to take a twist over to the right side, prayer twist, hands to the heart, and then take that left elbow over to the right knee. So high lunge if you want, open arms if you want. Try to draw the center of the chest to the thumbs, and keep your back leg activated if you the back of the knee. If your left knee is off the floor and you're in the high version of the lunge, let go of your twist. Half moon is next from lunge. I'm going to demo again with the block. I'm going to hold it on with my right hand here, and I'm going to shift the weight forward, standing split, and then get into it. The block, by the way, make sure it's not too close to your foot. It should be, when you measure, use the length of your block, it should be at least a block's distance in front of your foot, so that when you come, I'm probably way over the camera here, when you come forward, you get some length in the underside of your body. So that's what you want. You don't want to be kind of down here and collapsing and falling and flailing. Okay? You want to feel like you're stretching in the position as best as you can. So you have a good solid base, either with a block or your hand to the floor, fingertips to the floor, so that you can push out and stretch out. Take another deep breath, and then exhale to bring it down. Step back into lunge, step back into plank. Move chaturanga, up dog, down dog, breathe it out. Left side, left leg lifts, inhale, exhale. Okay, so your lunge, high lunge, taking it up, we're going to go to standing split right away. Shift forward and activate that right leg now. So drawing the head to the right knee, and other variations of standing split, not that flexible, but you can work on strength by all means. If you don't feel that flexible, you can work on your balance. You can always modify and just kind of subtract things just to play around with the center of your gravity, right? Keep your body guessing. So you can take that left hand on the back of your leg and you can remove your right hand from the floor as well. So you're drawing yourself in to your leg and you're trying to lift your right leg at the same time. So that's kind of a progression you could work on too. And again, don't worry about if you're not getting your head to your knee or your head to your foot. Don't worry about that. That's not even a thing. Okay, so we're going to step and just kind of relax that back and reaching up, hands to heart. Inhale, exhale. Let's twist to the left. So right elbow is on the left knee, and again, bringing it up for a higher version. You're kind of pressing down into your leg just to get a little more out of the twist, a little more leverage here, pushing down. All right, so letting that go. Take that half moon now. So lifting that back knee up off the floor. You're gonna hold on to the block with the left hand, or your left fingertips will be to the floor. So I want to show them both variations. So holding onto the block. Again, I'm just trying to practice lifting tall into the pose, getting a good distance in front of my foot so that I can expand. If you don't have a block, liter water bottle works great as well. If not, you don't have anything, just fingertips to floor. I do recommend fingertips at least. So getting the hand flat onto the floor. Unless you just have really long arms, you're gonna kind of compress the pose. So I don't know. It's it kind of depends on the person, but I like to lift up really tall in the pose and feel my body kind of working and stretching out in the pose, and you kind of need to lift a little bit instead of compress. So we're gonna release. So you bring the right hand down, right leg down, and then take another deep breath in your crescent lunge. Take it all the way down. Step up, lower through, chaturanga, up dog, and then child's pose. All right. So take some long deep breaths in and out here. All right. Okay, so we're gonna just get into a little bit more getting into some back bends and some glute activation exercises here. So we're just gonna start in this camel variation of camel pose. We'll do half camel, no blocks or anything. We're just going to tuck the toes under. And again, protect your knees if you need cushion underneath your kneecaps. So we're going to go to the left side first. I'm going to place my left hand on my left heel, okay? And pressing my hips forward, and my hand's just going to be at my heart. This is beginner. If you want to, turn, look up at the ceiling, and breathe right where your hand is, kind of the center of the chest, and just kind of to, again, create that mind muscle connection here, mind breath connection. That's where you're breathing, lifting into your chest, pressing hips forward, and pulling both shoulders back. Variation 3 is that reaching up with both reaching with your right arm and taking a little bit more of a back bend. Getting a lot more stretch in that right side of the body. To come out of that pose, just start to unwind. So go left first. So I like to put my hand on my chest, look down, and just kind of safely pull out of that position. So that just kind of feels the safe way to get out instead of kind of jiggling around, kicking yourself up out of the pose. So toes tucked under. Let's go to the other side, right side. And again, just toes tucked under, grab onto the heel, and you're not just gonna collapse back under the heel. You're just gonna use that as support. Hand onto your heart, left hand onto your heart or chest or collarbones, and then you're either staying, looking at your side and breathing and just holding that position, or looking up at the ceiling and breathing there. And it just kind of depends on how the shoulder feels really on this side. And then if you want to go a little bit further, then you're lifting your left arm up and breathing. Okay, another deep breath in, and then out. And again, you're just going to slowly going to the right side, hand to heart, look down, release. Okay, shaking the back out again, so forearms to the ground, do some circles around, breathing in, breathing out. Okay, and then come back up to tabletop position and lift your right leg back. Okay, we're going to bend into the right knee, kick your left shin off to the left. Variation of side plank pose, grab onto the top of the right foot. Okay, so you can kind of stay looking over at you, looking right or kind of facing sideways, kind of like side plank, or you can kind of challenge your balance a little bit by looking down and kicking into your hand and opening that hip. Breathing deep. All right, and then letting that go, and then switching sides. So the left leg lifts first, your right shin just kind of kicks off, a little bit of a kickstand helper there. And then the left arm reaches back for the top of the foot. So again, you kind of face the side of, face the left side if you wish, and just stay there, or turn down a little bit and kick up a little bit more. Breathing into the belly. And releasing from there. All right, let the foot go. Come back to tabletop position and then spin the legs around. Let's come down onto the floor. So we're going to do some bridges, and then we'll go into wheel tonight if you are comfortable doing that. Otherwise, just show you just some different variations of bridge that you can practice at home. And I got a yoga ball as well, and I will demo how to prep for wheel if you are not comfortable going into wheel tonight, and you can just kind of use a yoga ball to practice stretching and just opening up your shoulders that way. We'll start in our bridge. This first one is figure 4 bridge, and we're going to cross the right ankle on the left knee, flexing the right foot, arms down by the side, and lifting the hips and breathing. So you're pushing down into your left foot And trying to open up that right knee. So you should feel the stretch in the hip flexors and some glute activation, which is always good, and some low back activation, which is also good and needed for back bends. Take another deep breath in, and then release, and then switch sides. The left ankle is on the right knee, and then we're going to lift it up. So keeping the foot flexed on the left side, left foot, breathing deep, pressing down into your right foot. All right, and then releasing down. Okay, so we'll do 2 bridges and a wheel. The first bridge is kind of the classic bridge pose. We're going to take the arms alongside the body, and the feet are together, a little bit separated, and walk your heels in close towards your seat. And we're going to lift the hips up from there. So you do want to feel like your glutes are squeezing. So that'll keep that with that activation that you need. So if you're comfortable here, you can interlace your fingers underneath your back, rock from side to side, and further pin your shoulder blades together and pin them down with the pressure or with the weight of your body. So you're, again, just a little leverage tool, gripping into the mat as we're doing this, pressing down into the mat with the feet and lifting up with the hips. Pushing down with the arms. Okay, and then just slowly release from there, all the way down, and you give a little shake up. Okay, so the next one is arms overhead bridge. So reaching arms overhead, pretty much, and then the palms are facing up towards the ceiling, and feet are just where they are, and lifting the hips up again. So you should just feel the weight pour a little bit more into the tops of the shoulders, maybe feeling a little bit more space into the sidelines of the body, which is what I like about this variation. Just getting that sideline stretch, getting into some lat muscles. As well, just another tip to lift your chin away from your chest. So a lot of time it just kind of compresses. Just see if you can lift your chin just a little bit off your chest so that you can create some space in your throat as well. And that'll help with relaxing, because it is a tough pose. Bridges are tough, and there's a real huge tendency to hold your breath in the pose, which is a no-go. We want to keep breathing. Okay, let that go. And again, just a little sway here. Try to resist the urge to hug your knees, and right away here, a little bit of side-to-side twisting does help release the tension from the back during back bends, but try not to go right into rounding the spine and hugging. Best bet is to just twist windshield wipers here if you need some release, or just staying with your back, knees bent, and your back flat to the floor, and breathing as best as you can. So next one is wheel. So I'll demo wheel. I'll just demo actually the one that you can go into if you know you're not going to do wheel. Then you can do this pose, which is the butterfly glute bridge. Knees are wide, big toes are touching, and you can take your arms alongside your body again, or alongside your ears again, like you did with the last one, and lift. So just another variation of the bridge, but getting into glute medius, getting into your outer hip muscles as well. So that could be a variation if you know that you're not going to do wheel, or you can just watch here. So getting into a wheel, you're going to press the feet in. You're going to pop up just like you're going into the regular bridge pose. But then you're going to take your hands onto the floor by the ears. Try to, as best you can, point the elbows up, and my fingers are pointing towards my heels. So what we're going to do first is come onto the crown of the head, and then next push all the way up. And maybe dropping the head back for this position and breathing deep. So holding for another couple breaths here. I'm just going to come out and demo for some of you too that just happen to have a yoga ball right here. Try it out. My ball, and I think it's about 55-inch, and you're just dropping your head back, and you're just getting the hand placement here. So point your fingers again towards your heels, drop your head back, and just practice placing a little bit, rolling back into your hands and pushing into your hands. So what needs to happen is your shoulder blades need to kind of hug in, and you need to kind of activate your shoulder blades as best as you can. So putting more weight, pushing into your feet as well as your hands, and opening up that way. And that just relieves, that just will take the pressure out of your back. And if you feel like you just don't have the strength to go into wheel anyways, yeah, use the support and practice. Just takes a little practice, and then your shoulders will eventually open up and the sides of your body will eventually open up. But it does take practice. I would say try and practice every other day, at least 30 seconds, and then make your way up to like 30 seconds times 2 and just kind of get your body used to it, right? And you just sort of progress in that way, and then eventually it'll feel less awkward, less straining, and your body will start to love it after a while. So back to where we are, we're just going to cool down from there because it's that time. So you can roll like a ball, or if you're already there, happy baby pose, you can get down there. And again, rolling like a ball sometimes feels good. Rolling and massaging at the spine. Happy baby pose, you're grabbing onto the knees, the shins, or grabbing onto the toes, and you're rocking side to side. So deep breaths in, deep breaths out, pulling that low back into the floor here. Okay, one more breath. Happy baby, 2, and then letting that go. We'll hold on to just the right knee and take some nice twists. So hold on, squeeze onto that right knee. Bring your head into the right knee as well. Give a good squeeze, lots of love. Take your head back onto the floor. Guide your right knee over to the left side. Close to the floor, reach out your right arm to the side. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Always feels good on the back. Nice twist. You can double up your leg or double up your knees here. You can slide that bottom leg up from underneath, right? You don't have to go into such a deep twist if it does not feel good in your body, or if it's constricting your breath. So that's kind of the big one. Always check in with your breath. Alright, so let's come out of that twist. Give yourself a hug. Wrapping up. Let it go. Switch sides. Hold on to left knee. Squeeze in first, reaching your right leg away, kind of activating your right leg here. And then pull head in, squeeze, squeeze, drop down, and guide it over. Guide the right leg, knee, left knee over to the right side, and your left leg, our left arm is reaching out to the other side, and you're breathing. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, we're going to release and bring it back to the mat. Bring both knees in. Squeeze it up. Alright, bring the feet to the floor. Windshield wipers, bring the arms out to a T position. Drop knees left, drop knees right, back and forth. Get the breath flowing here. Long deep breaths in, long deep breaths coming out. All right, so slowing everything down at this point here, and then straightening the legs and moving into Shavasana. Taking the arms alongside the body, palms face up towards the ceiling, and open the feet, the soles, inner lines of the legs and feet open towards the ceiling as well. So just kind of do a quick scan and just notice if you feel like you might be distracted, if there's something pressing that you need to take care of, like you know that you're going to be cold, for instance, then go ahead, grab a blanket and cover up so that you can just be still here for the next few minutes. And then once you are ready, then begin taking a deep breath in through the nose, fill the lungs, fill the belly with air, and then take a long deep breath out through the mouth. So feel the breath moving out the lungs and completely emptying from the belly as well, completely, until you feel like your low back sunk maybe a centimeter more down to the ground. So you should feel a little bit more connection to the mat on the exhales. Okay, and even if it's just small percentages here, you're just getting more and more grounded on the exhales from now on, letting go of something with an exhale that you take. Okay, any stress from your day or stress from the week. And just choosing not to think that you need to solve any problems right now, I think is the big thing. And know that stuff will be waiting when you are done yoga, so try and just not quite block it out, but notice those things, but don't get caught up in the drama of life for now. Okay, you need to take the space so that you can step back and just get a little bit of perspective, and then you'll be able to kind of see things with fresher eyes, maybe a little bit of a calmer temperament when you are finished the practice. Give yourself that gift. So think about just really delving into your breath here. Some long deep breaths coming in. Listen to the sound. Notice how calming the sound of your own breath is. Notice how it sounds like wind blowing through trees, through grass, or it sounds like ocean waves. And if visuals help you out, then use your imagination, use your mind's eye, and go right there to your happy place and breathe there. using positive intentions here and affirmations to keep you going, whatever it may be. Giving yourself strength, giving yourself love and compassion, and also spreading that to those around you, your family and your friends. So bringing some attention back to your breath. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana. It is your home practice. I'm going to guide you out and into the waking world. So just moving fingers and toes around, maybe rocking the head from side to side, yawning, stretching. Lion's breath stretch always feels good. If you feel like you always hold the tension in your jaw, or you just clench the jaw quite a bit. So opening the mouth really wide and sticking the tongue out, and stretching the tongue also feels really good. Yeah, whatever feels good. Reaching the arms overhead, morning stretch. Beginning to maybe move the legs in windshield wipers, slow kind of motion, windshield wipers. And everything you move to, whatever you decide to move, just moving with intention and breath. Okay, so from there, we're rolling, we're rocking over onto your side and making your way up to a seated position. And like I usually say, feel free to use this opportunity to carry on with your meditation practice, or if you're just starting one, just being in a cross-legged position or sitting on the floor and just kind of breathing in this in a sitting position for a few more minutes, even after this practice. It's really beneficial, especially in these times. So if you do have time, I definitely recommend it. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off. I'm Melissa Shippey, Live Elements Yoga. I'll put this video up on my YouTube channel, which is Melissa Shippey. And I put all my videos up on YouTube after I record them on Facebook Live. So you can spread the word as well for that. Someone that's not on Facebook, they can always access videos as well. Leave comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. This might be happening for a while, so I'd like to know what kind of classes people are into, and what's kind of not out there. I'm always interested in trying new things and kind of, bringing different, styles of yoga into the world as well. So yeah, I can try out anything here. So we got medium. So thanks so much for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you. Well, I got another class on Wednesday, so I hit yoga class 7 p.m. again on Facebook Live. If you want to get your sweat on, then join me there. Yeah, so have a great week. Everybody, take care of yourself, stay healthy, and see you later. Namaste.